Alrighty, so let's do this exercise 9, learning about state reducers and types. So I'm going to run the tests. And cool, let's jump into this exercise. So we want to add a type to the changes object that we pass. So that's simple enough because the changes is what we get from internal set state. So here I'm going to add a type, and this will be, we'll call it reset, and we'll spread the rest of those. Whatever is on internal state, we'll just add this object assign thing to have the type reset. And then we'll also add a type here for toggle. Really, it doesn't matter what you call it. I'm going to show you a slightly better way to do this here in a second. But yeah, just adding these types to the state that we're setting. Let me get rid of Cody the koala here. Now when we call toggle, we actually want to, let's see, yeah, this is where things are going to get a little bit more complicated, because down here we're calling toggle with a type. Because we want to have our own custom type so we can key off of that as a user. And so up here, toggle needs to be able to accept an object. And so this is going to be an object that defaults to just an empty object, and it'll have a type, and we'll just have that default to toggle. Then we can actually use that instead. Okay, cool. So now we're passing this type into our internal set state. And we don't actually want the type to be part of state, because updating the, let's say that we call set state, but we're not actually changing any state, but we change the type, that's going to cause a re-render. It's totally unnecessary if none of the actual state changed. So let's keep type off of our state, and we'll just pull it off. So we'll say type, and I'm going to call that ignored type. And then we'll pull the rest of those changes. So remaining changes, and that'll be reduced changes. Can't remember what I called this, but remaining changes sounds good. Okay, cool. And then what we'll process is the remaining changes rather than the reduced ones. Okay, and that passes everything. What questions do you have with those? With this exercise? Clearly many. Okay. Oh, I totally forgot. We didn't do our air squats. We'll do that after this exercise. That explains it. That's why you're all so tired looking. Oh, we didn't do our exercise. Okay. So one thing that I want to change about this is anytime I have something like this where I'm using a string to key off of some like type or something. I like to simulate an enum in JavaScript. We don't really have enums unless you're using TypeScript, but I like to kind of simulate that. And so what I like to do is I'll add a static state change types, and then I'll have toggle is one type, and I'll just call that toggle. Whatever you want to call it, you could. It doesn't really matter. That's the nice thing about using enums, is it doesn't matter what the value is. And then reset. And then instead of saying type is reset, we'd say toggle.state change types reset. And then the type here will be toggle state change types dot toggle. Cool. So one other thing that I just realized that I guess I don't have a test for because we forgot to do this part. But now when I click on, oh, there's my Twitter. Where'd my thing go? There we go. When I click on this, it is going to be passing the event to the onToggle function. So we're going to call all on click, and then this dot toggle with the event. We're going to pull the type off of that. So it's not quite right. So what we're going to do is instead we'll provide a function that calls this .toggle, and then we'll accept the default. So we're not passing something unexpected. Okay, and that's it. So the one other nice thing about using state change types instead of just strings is because now you can actually add that to your documentation. Say if you want to change state based off of certain actions, you use toggle.stateChangeTypes, and then we could say if changes.type equals toggle state change types dot reset or toggle, and then we'll return on as false, and now we can never toggle it on our test break and stuff. So so it gives the consumers a lot of power to be able to know, okay, I know that the state is changing, but I don't know why. Well, now we know why because we have this type, and then we can key it off of state change types. And then people could also console log state change types, so you could add like flow typed or type scripts to inform people what's available, what types of changes can happen. So Adrian asked a question in the chat. Here, let's get rid of this thing. Right up here, asking whether or if there was a reason that we destructured on this new line rather than just right here. Not really. We could just do that just as easily. It would be effectively the same. I just kept it separate so you know every single step what's going on. With the map function thing, I think it looks so much cleaner, but yeah, you can do it however you like that. Feel free to do all sorts of things. Let's just like combine this right there. We'll just get rid of that. Ooh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, Prettier. Thank you. Yeah, Prettier can't make ugly code look pretty. Like it is ugly.